Alright, here we are. Here's the video I wanted to create for just some quick dimensions that you were looking for. Hopefully this will give you enough to give you an idea of the scale of the vehicle along with what could be done to it as far as aftermarket parts. So let's start here at the tire height. From what it looks like, we're looking at slightly over 4 inches. I mean, darn near right on 4 inches, I would say. So we'll call the wheel height 4 inches. That's including the tire. The wheel diameter is 2 inches. Pretty much right on the dot. So we're looking at a little over 2. Yeah, 2 inches. 2 inches for the wheel diameter. So that's the wheel diameter. Now the wheel base, that's center to center on the tires. Let me take a quick measurement. This is a little shorter than the actual car, so we'll have to take a dual measurement here. So we got 12 inches to the mid of the rim. So let's call that 12. Let's call that, okay, yeah, so you're looking at about 12.5 inches from what I can see, the wheel base itself. Now the wheel width base, center to center on the front tire is 8 inches on the dot. So that's what you're looking at for the tire width. The height of the ground clearance to the lower front diff, you're looking at an exact number of, let's see here, 1.25 inches. So 1 1/4 inches ground clearance from the surface of the tires to the lower surface of the diff case. So that's that dimension. Dimension from the bottom of the surface here to the bottom of the body, as far as inches, you're looking at slightly under 4 inches, like 3.8 to 3.85 inches. So that's your dimension from the surface of the tires to the bottom of the bumper in the front. Okay, your total body length. Okay, so we're looking at, we're going to have to do a dual measurement again because of the ruler here, but you got 12 inches plus 7.5. So 12 plus 7.5, so that's 19.5 inches. So the body length is 19.5. It does come with mirrors that go inside these holes here, along with windshield wipers which go in these holes. They're inside the box which it comes in. Your body width, you're looking at 7 inches. So 7 inches from this surface to this surface. So that gives you the basic dimensions of the exterior, the body, the tire size, the tire width. We didn't do that. So the tire width, you're looking at, let's see here, 1.5 inches wide. So that's your tire width. Let's see here. Let's pull the body off really quickly. Get a few dimensions inside here. Flip it over. Measure some axles, etc. Good news on this one. Steel axles, so that's a plus. So we got a 4-link suspension. It's actually steel links, not aluminum, which is nice for the 4-link, and it's steel drive train. So this is actually really nicely built. I'm not seeing any need for upgrades as far as MIP or as far as Vanquish or anything like that. It looks like it's ready to rock and roll. So let's give you some quick dimensions though. So your link length, let's go in millimeters because typically that's what it's in. So your measurement from center to center on the eyelets is 12 millimeter. As you can see, 12 millimeter. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, all the same. Now there is a link underneath that. Let's see if it's the same really quickly. It is. So you actually have a total of 8 links that are 12 millimeter with the eyelets on both sides. And then you have the 2 drive shafts from the front to the center and from the rear to the center. Your distance on your drive shaft length, you're looking at roughly 10 millimeters is what you're looking at. So from that to the beginning of the drive cup, it's hard to tell because the angle I'm at, but it's between 9.5 to 10 millimeters on the length of the drive shaft. And that's on the front to the rear was that one. Now the rear to the front looks like a little bit longer, but it is telescoping. That's the way these are designed. But the final length is right around 11 millimeters on this one. So you're looking at about 11 millimeters. I know it's hard to tell, but when you come over here, you can see the actual number line up. So 10 millimeters on the front to the rear, or I should say front to center, 11 millimeters on rear to center, and let's look at chassis width. So your chassis width, let's take another millimeter measurement, is 7.5 millimeters from the rail to the rail on the outside. You're looking at about 7.5 millimeters, maybe a smudge under, but right around 7.5 millimeters. Let's see here, what would be some other useful information for you? The shocks, the shock length. Let's take a look at that. The way it sits, it's natural ride height. Without any adjustment, we're looking at, let's see here, total shock height of, well, let's say shock length. The entire shock length is 10 millimeter. So from the shock bottom to the shock top, you're looking at 10 millimeter. Okay, so 10 millimeter to the bottom. Now the actual stroke on the shock, looks like we're looking at a we're looking at a 4 millimeter shock shaft length. So the shock shaft length is 4 millimeter, the total shock length is 11 millimeter, and the shock reservoir is the remaining. So 4, 11, so you got a 6 millimeter, which is dead on, a 6 millimeter reservoir height. Now the diameter of the shock, we're looking at 1 3/4 millimeters on the shock diameter. So that's that. Another thing would be, let's see, the motor, standard can. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, the 550 can, 10 scale standard. Looks like it's easily upgradable. Plenty of room for a different ESC, different motor. Mamba X would definitely not be a problem to go in there. Yeah, so in general, I think it's a decent truck to go with as far as a base truck with it's already a durable rig. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'll get this video up tonight and I'll shoot you a message to let you know it's live. So hope it's enough information. If not, shoot me a message and let me know whatever else you need to know and we'll go from there. All right, thanks, bud. Bye-bye.